Hello, it's Dean again, and I am doing Etude on the violin, Suzuki Book 1. This will be a practice video, and I won't go through every single note, but I will go through a number of little sections. And one of the new skills in this song is in measure 8, I think it is, 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, measure 8. There is a walking third finger. It's the last 4 notes, and I would like to go over that the very first thing. We do a B, G, B, D, and then high G. And what I like to do is teach that when you get to that high G, you now have 3 fingers on the violin. So here's the B, and then we do G, B, D, and then we do a tunnel finger with our third finger, and then you can see how the second finger kind of does this diagonal line, and if you just put it right down on the E string, it will likely be very close to being in tune on a G. And a G is a ringing tone, so it should be a little easier for you to catch that. So let's work on that little section. I'm hoping that you have music and that you can look on with your music. And I'm just going to play that little section. First I'm going to play it with tucka tucka stop stops, and I'll make it look over here. Maybe that will help you a little bit here. So it goes. There we go. Let's try that together now. We have first finger, and we hold the first finger down the entire time. Here we go. All right. Let's do it now with rivets like this. Okay, here we go. All right, one more time. All right, and now let us try it as written in the music there. Here we go. And again. All right. Yeah, that's in tune. After we do that, we add to it a note, an F sharp, and the F sharp then is first finger on the E string. So then we have to walk our first finger over here. So we've got dun 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 dun. This is what we're looking at now, and then we walk the first finger over and put it in place on the F sharp. And it's difficult to get that note in tune. One student of mine suggested that he just put the first finger over both strings. And I think that would be just fine. It's good to be able to do both skills, but if you find it's easier to leave first finger on both strings, I think that's good. All right, so now we're going to do what we just did, and we're also going to add to it the F sharp. So it goes. Shall we try that together? Here we go. One more time. There you go. So now let's talk about the beginning of the piece. At the beginning, we have, in my music, which is an older copy of Suzuki, I have a first finger with a line written over the, it goes from the B all the way over to the G, which suggests that you're going to have 2 fingers on the violin when you're playing the note G. So it looks like this. All right, how are you? And you can see that I have now 2 fingers on the violin. The advantage of doing it that way and leaving your first finger down is that you get relative intonation. Your third finger has to know where to go by the first finger telling it what to do. The first finger says, go over there and go this certain distance. If you take your finger off, now the third finger has no one to rely on to tell it where to go. And of course, a good violinist can easily put it down on the note G and get it right. But if you're just beginning in Suzuki, then it's a good idea to always have that first finger down. You'll play a lot better in tune that way. So let's practice that skill now. The first 3 notes of the piece. Here we go. Haha! 2 fingers on the violin. Let's try it again. One more time. And then the open A string then would release both fingers. Let's try that. Here we go. One more time. There. Now that skill is the same skill that we used in Allegretto when we go. And you see that the A string releases both the first and third finger in Allegretto. So what we are doing is we are building on the skill that you have learned in Allegretto. And so by the time you're done with Etude, then it is very well solidified. And then when you get to minuet number 3 and you play that part, then this part, that's a piece of cake for you. It's so easy to do. Okay, let us now do, I'm going to play it very slowly. And what I'm expecting is that you will read the music. And maybe I'll stop along and show you some things. But anyway, here are the first 8, 12, 13 notes. I'm going to stop on beat 3 of the second measure. So here I go. Yeah, now you can see that I did my second finger was left in the air. Now that is a skill that is in the second finger etude, or finger exercise number 2, I think it's called, right under etude on that same page, the one that goes. And I did a little video on that, explaining how you want to keep your second finger in the air so that it doesn't just kind of plop down somewhere between C natural and C sharp, which I call seasick. Anyway, let's do this whole thing, the first 13 notes, a couple times. Here we go. One more time. All right, so now we are going to do the next bunch of notes, I guess probably 13 notes. And we will end on the note that we started on. So there's a little bit of an overlap there. We're going to play that A, which ended the first part, and it begins the second part. And music oftentimes does that. The ending note of one phrase is sometimes the beginning of another phrase. All right, and this time, now we're going to be using the first finger staying down and telling second finger where to go. Yeah, so they're going to touch each other. Okay, here we are in beat number 3 of measure number 2. It's an A, a D, and then an A. Here we go. Okay, you can see that now we have a skill that is learned in the finger exercise number 2, which hopefully you are going to be doing as well. And that is to leave the third finger in the air when fourth finger comes down. These are the first 3 notes of, I think, the second line in your book. This is measure number 4, C natural F, I'm sorry, C natural E and D. So let's try that a couple times. C, E, D. Here we go. It develops a lot of finger strength between the second and third fingers. And as a cellist, I've never had to develop that strength. Downward pressure is the kind of strength that cellists develop, and not like spreading fingers apart. We just don't do that on the cello that much, except between 1 and 2. So I need to work on this myself. All right, so let's now do the second set of notes beginning on the A, D, A. We'll do this 2 times through. So here we go. Okay, that is the second pattern in Etude. And now we will do 2 more patterns, and then we will play through it. And I want to keep this at around 15 minutes in length so that my computer can upload it to the internet. So we're going to do measure 9 now, and this is a G major scale. Here we go. That should be pretty easy. I'm not going to go over it a second time. And then the next bunch is part of the D major arpeggio. Second finger high, D, F sharp again, and then A. So let's do that a couple times. Here we go. Again. Good. And now we're going to do the G major scale again, except we're going to start on the second note of the G major scale and go down. So this would be re, mi. So here we go. Third finger on the E string, the note is A. Here we go. All right. Without further ado, let us play through Etude, kind of slowly. That same speed. All right, here we are at around 13 minutes and 20 seconds, and we're doing a run through of Etude. Here we go. There you go. There is Etude. Happy practicing. See you later.